Okay, we have about 10 more minutes left of questions, and then we'll have the closing statements. But here's another one. Is there anything you could do in your role as district attorney to reduce the rate of recidivism?
To reduce the rate of recidivism? Yeah, there are things we can do. But I think the first thing to step back and to realize when you're thinking about the district attorney's office is we're sort of the last resort. In other words, the best route for success for any child is, a parent that loves them, a stable home, and whether they're rich or poor, if a parent loves them and the home is stable, they're going to do okay. And the problem is when kids come from broken homes, when someone's a drug addict in the house or the husband's in state prison, that child's going to have a difficult time. And so we as a society, through school, through social work, we try to support the family. In some sense, we're trying to build it up. But there's really no substitute for a family. The state can't provide that. And the district attorney's office, we do have some projects. The district attorney started a parent project in collaboration with the police department that tries to teach parents skills for being parents so that their children will not grow up and get into trouble. And that's very good, and that's a good program to have. But remember, at its core, the district attorney's office's job is public safety and integrity. And so it's when people are violent and they're committing crimes, at some point, we need to remove them from the society so that everybody else can live safely. And that's unfortunate, but that's where we are in the system. We're sort of at the back end there. And we try rehabilitation, but ultimately, our job is to protect you.
I think the district attorney has a role to play in helping to prevent recidivism, and we've talked a little bit about prevention. But what we really need to look at are these reentry programs, because what happens is people go to jail. So we're not talking about people who've raped or murdered and they're going to prison for 25 years, but we're talking about somebody who goes to jail for 6 months, maybe 9 months, maybe 120 days. Maybe that person usually has a drug or an alcohol problem. That person probably may even have some mental health problems. And so what happens is that person gets out of jail and, big surprise, no job and no support system, and very often they reoffend. So what we really need to do as a community, and the district attorney has a role to play, and I'm involved in those programs at my level. Mr. Rosa doesn't know that because he's a trial lawyer and that's not his job, but I do know that job. And so we work very hard in mental health court. We work collaboratively with our state and local assembly people, our legislators, our city councils, to really look at some of those programs. We meet regularly with the public defender, with probation, with the other stakeholders in community or in criminal justice, because what we look at, for instance, women's programs in the jail, how can we support them getting education, getting job training, getting the counseling that they need to be drug-free or alcohol-free so that they don't go back to jail.